Hey yogis, we are bringing the party inside because it's pretty cold out there right now. I did bring some sunflowers from the garden and also some other plants. So grab your mat, grab a block, and let's get started. Come to a tall seat. Let your eyes just blink a few times until they close softly. Good. Inhale, bring your shoulders up to your ears. And exhale, roll your shoulders back and down. And inhale, shoulders up to the ears. Exhale, shoulders back and down. And again, inhale, squeeze your shoulders up. And exhale, roll them back and down and pause there. And feel the blades of the shoulders pull down as the collarbones broaden. And even though you're doing that work, try to allow the face to soften. Notice your pelvic floor and all of those muscles there in the pelvic floor. And try to lift up from those muscles. It's a really slight lift. Let's imagine that we have a portal at the very top of our head, the crown of our head. And imagine that you can actually breathe in and out of that portal. With every inhale, you sit a little taller. With every exhale, keep that height. And inhale, sweep your arms overhead. Press your palms together, lift your heart, look up. Then exhale, prayer twist to your right. So one hand to the opposite knee, other hand behind the low back. And the left side ribs rotate forward as the right side ribs rotate back. You can even allow your left hip to pop forward a little bit, allowing that twist to start from the hips. And move the shoulders away from the ears. And allow your neck to go just as far as it wants to go, gazing back to the back of the room. With your exhalations, there's a little ringing out. Inhale, find the center. And exhale, switch sides. And hug the right ribs in just a little bit, even though they're twisting towards the left. And those right side ribs are reaching. Feel that little lock of the back of the neck. So it's almost like you have your hand behind your head and like you're just slightly pressing your head into your hand. It's almost like a little bit of a tuck of the chin. Not too crazy there, just a little bit. With your inhalations, sit even taller. And with the exhalations, twist a little bit deeper. Let's inhale it back to center. And we'll find a Sukhasana. So let's start with the right shin in front of the left shin. And you want to bring the ankles as close to underneath the knees as you can. For some people, they'll actually go like on the outsides of the knees. For others like me, they'll still be on the insides. And sit nice and tall on your sitting bones. I know it's pretty early on to do this stretch for the shoulders, but I've been really loving this stretch lately. So bring the right hand to the back, kind of like in between the shoulder blades. And then bring the back of your left hand up the back. Good. Grab for whatever you can grab. Like I actually don't grab right away. But if you did want to bring a strap there, you can have the strap. Good. Draw the elbows away from each other. So that right elbow reaches up towards the ceiling as the left elbow reaches down towards the mat. Good. Then knit your front ribs together. And find that same slight tuck of the chin as you draw the base of the head into the hand. This is usually especially difficult for the bottom arm. See if you can inch it up a little bit higher the longer you've been here, coming a little bit deeper into it. And once you need to stop, just stop right there. All right, release out of that side. And then switch the crossing of your legs. Ankles underneath the knees. And rock a little bit forward on the sitting bones. And then this time, right hand goes behind, oh no, second side. Left hand goes to the back, and the right arm goes behind. Good. Reach the elbows away from each other. Press your head towards whatever's behind you. And imagine that you can breathe into the back ribs. So we're lifting those back ribs up. If you feel comfortable inching the fingers a little closer together, maybe you're binding. Wherever is good for you today, wherever you feel is your max for this moment. Not judging it, just being there and breathing. And let's unravel the arms. Inhale, reach your arms up. Lift the heart, press the palms together. And then exhale, bring your hands in front of you. Let's make our way into down dog. Notice what parts of your body are really feeling the down dog today. Check in with the wrists, the shoulders, the hamstrings, the calves. Now let's come into a little bit longer of a down dog, so walk your feet back just a little bit. And then lift your heels up really, really high and bend your knees. Good. Press the balls of the feet into the mat and almost act like you want to pull the mat apart with the balls of the feet. So the feet are pressing down and pulling outwards. Press even more strongly into your hands. And slowly begin to straighten the heels just as far as they go. And even if the heels don't touch, whether they do or they don't touch, there's a really strong feeling of the heels moving down. Not necessarily forcing them down, but just that juice that you're giving to the legs. And lift up on the kneecaps so that the quads are engaged. Last deep breath. Good. Walk your hands back to meet your feet. And take a really good bend in your knees. And grab a hold of your elbows. And let your head and neck hang. And that crown of the head, can it be a little heavier towards the mat? And then just play with the shifting of your weight. And play with the straightening of the legs. And release the hands onto the mat. And slowly crawl back out, downward facing dog. Inhale in your down dog. Exhale, glide forward, high plank. Let's pause here in our high plank. I usually have to be a little longer. Kind of firm up the quads and lift the hamstrings towards the ceiling. Press into the balls of the feet, reach back through the heels, and then draw your tailbone towards your heels. Wrap the outer upper arms back so you can reach the collarbones forward slightly. And find that same little lock of the neck. So it's as if someone has their hand on the back of your head, and you're just really slightly pressing your head up into that hand. A little tuck of the chin. Take an inhale. Exhale, lower all the way down to your belly. Use your knees if you'd like. I knew I was going to have a problem with these flowers here. Uncurl your toes. Inhale, peel your heart up, baby cobra. Exhale, lower down. Inhale, peel up, press into the tops of the thighs, press into the tops of the feet. Exhale, lower. Inhale, lift up, elbows squeeze in and pull back as the heart reaches forward. Exhale, lower. Good, one more time. Inhale, lift up, this time hold. Grip your fingers into the mat and pull back. Try to lift the navel as the collarbones reach to the front. Press into those feet, engage those quads. Nice. Inhale. Exhale, lower down. Press back, child's pose. Knees wide, big toes touch. Walk both hands over to the right and bring your left hand on top of your right hand. And then grip pretty firmly into the floor and pull the floor towards yourself. And so keeping that little grip action there, breathe up and down the left side of your body. So try to feel that expansion there in the ribs. And try to keep a little bit of that expansion when you exhale. Good. Come on back into your child's pose. And then we'll switch sides. Walk your hands over to the left, right hand on top. And press down into the floor and pull. Breathe into those right side ribs. And let's come on back to center. And make your way into tabletop. Inhale, cow. Exhale, cat. Inhale, cow. Reach your heart forward. Lift the tailbone up. Look up. Exhale, cat. Press into your hands. Look back towards your knees. Inhale to cow. See if you can reach the heart forward as the outer upper arms spin back. Exhale, cat. Press and round. Lift the belly button up. Good. Inhale, cow. Exhale, cat. Let's find a neutral tabletop. And then bring your elbows down to where your hands are. Interlace your fingers. And step back into forearm plank. You can always drop down to the knees here. And really same stuff as high plank. Engage your quads a lot. Press into the balls of the feet as you reach back through the heels. And then draw your tailbone towards your heels. And press into the outer wrists, press into the forearms. But not so much to where you're collapsing in the collarbones. There's still that broadness there of the collarbones. Either stay right here or lift your right toes up, trying not to shift a whole lot from your alignment. And right toes down, left toes up. Keep that strong alignment. Left toes down, take an inhale. Exhale, lower your knees, lower your hips. Come on into Sphinx. Press the tops of the thighs into the mat. Reach the collarbones forward as those elbows pull back. And lower all the way down. Bring your hands under your shoulders. And then curl the toes under. We're going to play with a reverse push-up. You can either use your knees or you can keep your knees lifted. Inhale, high plank. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, send your right leg up and back. Exhale, look forward, step your foot between your hands. And then drop your back knee. Good. Inhale, reach your arms up, low lunge. But I used to think low lunge was all about like sinking the hips down and just allowing yourself to kind of be here, but you actually want to keep a lift away from the mat and keep some activation to the legs. So the back knee almost wants to draw the mat forward and the front foot wants to draw the mat back. Good. Keeping that engagement there, lift those pelvic floor muscles. Act like you're squeezing a block between your palms and reach the ring fingers up to the ceiling. Take an inhale. Exhale, prayer twist to the right. Try to find that same activation in the legs that we just worked on. And then reach the left side ribs forward as those right side ribs rotate on top. And the chin is away from the chest. Maybe even look up towards the ceiling if that feels okay in the neck. Good. inhale, both arms reach back up into your low lunge. And exhale, bring your hands down around your front foot. Let's make our way into half splits, Ardha Hanumanasana. If it's really tough to touch the floor without rounding the back, I like to come up to my fingertips or to have blocks underneath. Okay, let's try to really engage that right quad. Flex the right toes back towards your face, just as much as it feels good for you. And try to draw the left hip point forward as the right hip point draws back. Good, and those collarbones are reaching towards the front of the room. And you're almost finding a little bit of like a baby cobra here, so the shoulder blades squeeze together behind the back. And that's when it's especially helpful to have a little height there to the hands. Bring your left hand a little bit more forward and off to the left. And then don't change your alignment here in your half splits, but plant your left hand down and begin to peel your right arm up. Good. That right hip point is still drawing back. And let's bring the right hand behind the head and try to lay your head back into your hand. That right elbow is reaching up to the ceiling. And then try to wrap the left shoulder back, almost like underneath the body. Try to relax where you can relax here. And let's come back into our half splits and take an inhale. And then exhale, bend your front knee, placing your foot onto the mat, and heel toe that front foot to the other side of the mat. Now let's go heel on the mat, toes off the mat. And then for this one, let's actually come forward with the hips for lizard lunge. You want the front ankle a little bit more forward of the knee, so adjust there as you need to. You might need to move the back leg back a little bit. And then we're either going to stay right here in our lizard, or to play with a quad stretch, bend your back knee, and again, you might need to walk that knee back slightly. And then we'll reach back with the right hand, either for a strap around the foot, or you can grab the foot. If you do get the foot, come to the big toe side of the foot, square your shoulders to the front, and then bend the left elbow, reach the heart forward. And then just a little bit, kick your foot into your hand. I actually really love these like low to the ground practices because you still get the same awesome feeling afterwards and you're not quite as like exhausted from a more like power flow class. These are really just as beneficial for you. Okay, let's gently release the back foot. Move your hips back and then heel toe your front foot to the other side of the mat. And gently drop your knee down. Good. Bring your back leg so it's straight behind you and then really engage that leg. And with that back leg, the left leg, almost try to drag the mat forward. So it sounds like you're pulling something that's underneath the left foot. Good. Square your hips to the front. And just for a moment here, feel as if you can just lift yourself off the mat. So that right shin is pressing down. You're getting that lift, the glutes are strong. Keep a little bit of that press action as you take an inhale, lift the heart. Keep that press action as you lower down to the elbows. If you can't get to the elbows, the hands are perfectly fine. And again, we're not doing like the deepest pigeon that we can do. We're still keeping that little press action. And you're reaching the sternum forward. Check in on that back leg. Make sure the left glute is strong. You're pulling something forward that's underneath the foot. And that front shin is pressing down and pulling back. Nice. Bring your hands back underneath your shoulders. Roll to the right hip. I'm just going to swing that left leg in front and place your outer left ankle on the other side of your knee. And eventually try to get that left sitting bone down onto the mat unless that doesn't feel good for your back. And then inhale, lift up through the heart. Exhale, twist, bringing the left hand behind you with a little kickstand. You should feel this here in the outer left hip. Check quickly on your low back. Notice if it's rounding at all. And if it is rounding, try to lift up. You can even just kind of press into your low back with your heel of your hand and try to really smooth out that low back, almost so it's like concaved inward. And every inhale, the top of the head is reaching towards the ceiling. Every exhale, deepen your twist. Untwist. And we're going to make our way back into down dog. No, not the most graceful way to come back. Let's come on back into down dog. Inhale, send your left leg up and back. Exhale, step your foot between your hands. Drop your back knee. Uncurl the back toes. And inhale into a low lunge. Nice. So that left hip point draws back as the right hip point spins forward. Keep a really strong right glute and press strongly into that left heel. And then you're reaching through the fingers as much as you can without the shoulders coming into the ears. A lot of people actually draw the shoulders too far down. It's okay to let the shoulders reach. You just don't want them so far up that they're in the ears. Take an inhale. Exhale, prayer twist to your left. Okay, so notice what's happening there with the legs. Did you lose any of that engagement there? No worries if you did, just come right back into it. This time the right side ribs are reaching forward and the left side ribs are almost trying to rotate on top of the right side ribs. And maybe you look up towards the ceiling, just going as far as your neck will allow for today. Relax where you can relax. Good. Inhale, come back into your low lunge, reach up, look up. Exhale, bring your hands down, and we'll ease our way into half splits, adjusting as you need to here. Maybe coming up to the fingertips, maybe there's some blocks there for you. Okay, so both of those hip points, you want them to square to the front. A lot of times that means left hip point back as the right hip point pulls forward. Engage the left quad. And it helps to do that if you almost try to pull back. Like there's like an imaginary towel or something underneath the heel, like you want to drag it towards the back of the mat. To find a little essence of baby cobra, so shoulder blades squeeze together as the heart reaches forward. This is Ardha Hanumanasana, half splits. Walk your right hand a little bit forward and off to the right. Keep your half splits alignment and peel your left arm up. Okay, let's do that same little pec stretch. So the left hand goes behind the head and your chin's probably gonna drop. Try to lift the chin away from the chest as much as you can, pressing your head back into your hand, and the left elbow is reaching up for the ceiling. Ooh, that's a big one, huh? Gotta wrap that right shoulder back and down, away from the ear. Last breath. All right, come on back into your half splits. Reset for a moment. And we'll place the front foot onto the mat and heel toe it to the side. Your heel's going to be on the mat, toes off the mat, please. And then we'll sink the hips forward a little bit and press that right knee back. Good, so there's still a little bit of a lift away from the mat. You're not super slinky in this one, but it is a little bit more slinky of a pose, I guess, than some of the others. But you still want to press that front foot into the mat and not just completely sink. Okay, let's either stay here or bend your back knee and reach back with your left hand for the top of the foot. If you do get the foot, try to bring your hand to the big toe side. And then that left shoulder is going to square to the front. Keep a little lift of the hips, but reach the heart forward and bend the right elbow. A little bit, just kick your foot into your hand. Real gently release your back foot. And then heel toe your front foot to the other side of the mat. Gently drop it down. And look back behind you. Get that back leg straight behind you. And then act like there's a towel under the back leg and like you want to pull it to the front of the mat. Your left shin is pressing into the mat and pulling back. Right glute is strong, and see if you can lift yourself here. Way harder for me on this side. Take an inhale. As you exhale and lower, keep a little bit of that press. And you could just bring the hands in front of you. It's totally fine. You could come down to the elbows. I call this one kind of like a strong pigeon. You're not just stretching, you're kind of activating. The left shin is pressing down and pulling back. The right foot is pressing down and pulling forward, and then lengthen the heart forward. As you feel even, let's come back to the hands. Shift over to your left side and swing the right leg in front. Okay, so the left knee is still bent forward and then the right outer ankle just goes outside of it. And sit up nice and tall. Take a deep breath in, lift up through the heart. And exhale, twist. And bring one hand behind you. Every inhale, imagine that your spine can grow a little bit taller. Every exhale, try to rotate a little bit more from the rib cage. Allow your neck to follow just as much as it wants to. And you might even knit the right ribs in a little bit. And just notice how that feels. Untwist. And bring your legs out in front of you. Place your feet onto the mat. Coming into the little core. So bring your hands behind your knees. And let's start with the shoulder blades squeezing together. So it's like you've got a pencil between the shoulder blades and like you want to hold it in place. I don't think that would be possible, maybe for most people, but squeeze that pencil. And then let's bring the knees up so the shins are parallel to the mat. Good. You want the feet a little bit like, activated. Press forward to the balls of the feet. And then try to sit up on your sitting bone. So there should be no rounding to the low back. Either stay there or reach their palms forward. Stay there or straighten the legs. Keep pressing through the balls of the feet. Keep strong quads. Squeeze that pencil. Nice. Let's reset. Feet on the mat. Squeeze the shoulder blades, lift the heart. Relax the neck for a moment. And we'll just do that one more time. So you can stay right here. You can lift the ankles in line with the knees. Activate the feet, press the balls of the feet forward. Squeeze your legs together. Shoulder blades squeeze together. Either stay there or let your palms face up alongside the body. This time, straighten those legs. Everyone give it a try. Flex the quads. Press through the balls of the feet. Lift up through the sternum. And smile. Good. Slow and controlled. Lower all the way down until you're hovering. Pause there in a low boat. Keep pressing through the balls of the feet. Activate the quads. Lift the heart. And lower all the way down. Whew. And place your feet onto the mat. Make sure you can touch your heels. And let's do a couple back bends. So we'll do 2 back bends. First bridge and then wheel. And for bridge, dig into those heels and peel the hips up. And then we'll either do a little karate chop arms with the elbows down and the fingers up to the ceiling, or you can interlace your hands together underneath your body. Whichever version you're doing, try to bring the shoulder blades as close as you can together under your body. With the karate chop, you just press the elbows into the mat and you bring the shoulder heads underneath. If you're interlacing the hands, you've got to roll the shoulder heads underneath. And wherever you end up, press to lift the heart, press into the upper arms. Try to relax the back of the neck. Dig into the heels to lift the hips. Take an inhale. Exhale, slowly lower all the way down. Knees kiss, feet wide, and rest your hands on your belly. Let's do it one more time. Either a bridge or for wheel. Same setup there, touch the heels. Dig into the heels, lift the hips. And then bring your hands to frame your head. Press into the hands, come to the top of the head. Check to make sure the elbows are right above the wrists. And then press down to lift up. Once you're up there, try to keep breathing. Press into the hands to straighten the arm. Press into the feet and engage the glutes. And it's as if you want to squeeze a block between the knees. When you're ready to come down, tuck your chin, lower all the way down. And this time we'll go bottoms of the feet together, knees wide. One hand to the heart, one hand to the belly. Let that go. Gently draw your knees back together. Let's come into happy baby pose. Bring your knees nice and wide. And press your feet up into your hands. Try to get your tailbone and your low back to press down into the mat. And place your feet onto the mat. Hug your knees into your chest. Rock a little bit side to side. And bring your forehead up towards your knees. Squeeze into a tight little ball. And take an inhale. Exhale, Shavasana. Adjust as you need to. And once you're done fidgeting, adjusting, be completely still. Notice the way that you're closing your eyes. Sometimes we can be closing them pretty tightly. Allow them to just softly blink to a close. Allow the low jaw to relax away from the upper jaw. And allow your body to completely soften into the mat and the floor. be here for a few minutes. Shavasana. Stay really relaxed. Take a deeper breath. Reach your arms behind you, point your toes, stretch it out. All right, place your feet onto the mat and roll to one side. And pause there. Know that you're grounded, you're supported, you're loved. Keep your eyes closed, keep your head heavy. Press up into a seat. Press your palms together, sit tall through your spine, and bow your chin to your chest. Let's take one last breath together. Take an inhale through your nose, fill all the way up. Pause there at the very top. Sip in a little more air. Lift your chin, open up your mouth. Thanks so much, yogis. Namaste. All right, such a nice, relaxing flow, all low to the ground. If you like the video, please hit the little like button. And if you haven't subscribed already to my page or my channel, please subscribe to me, Yoga with Leanna, and hope to see you all again. Namaste.